there has to be, I think, good men in the country will have to wake up. And I was met with a lot of, I had serious backlash. Oh, I'm talking about good men and that kind of thing. But that's what we're witnessing. If indeed we have good men who are actually in charge of the positions of law enforcement, we'll not be doing that.
When Hanan was sent to Yeboah, he was supposed to just be interrogated immediately, then he will be discharged. But he fell sick and was taken to the hospital. And when he came back, instead of his lawyers, the former Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, Attorney General, to come so that interrogation will be done, he chose to rather be granting interview in his office and in the media and calling into radio programs to say things that he knows are wrong.
So can you query?
Yeah, you probably manaka unfair justice. Dear Godfred Dame.
Or some of the politics a room.
One of the politics. And yet Godfred Dame na obezo chi atoforce and all force Amagana economy the day. Obezo chi tum by force kwaka japa say o media dance kurum anto atoforce so na judge no emua atoforce for no enyo no tape audio ni na ba you go audio ni na court ebo me TV o. How on earth will such a human being have the nerves to talk about political motivation stories?
But was it lawyers no? Hamin lawyers.
Oh, no, he is a lawyer.
I deny access or more who no.
What is Srem-Sai? What say okay?
Oh, some also says no yare.
Oh, sir, Babani Yari, I'm going to go to hospital. And interrogation to me because a brand lawyer anymore. Because it's not done. And the Oja radio TV show tonight. No, or yen the Dumas and clients no epa and go.
He had not attempted to run. He didn't do anything against his bail conditions, right? The charge, he didn't do anything. So far, we've not been told by the state that you were on these bail conditions. You have breached them. So now we don't trust you. No. There's something different also about how the NDC is pursuing it like this. Look, I was looking at something. Almost all the high-profile cases that Godfred Dame and Gloria Akuffo tried during the APP years, almost all the suspects, let me call them, were given bail on self-cognizance.
I was your former boss, Edema Bafa stock. I Ura Hanan Abdul-Wahab, Nasem ena making. Now it's an answer in Guswa courts. Na no ena justice former Attorney General Yeboah Dame. Waba bonte na nese mo Kenya ne say Ghana for sorry. Godfred Yeboah Dame say mo sorry o esan say Justice Srem-Sai na lawyer for say do musi di Wahab asem no. Omodi amanyosem eninem.
After bastardizing them in the eyes of the public, holding them to ransom, destroying, tearing their reputation to shreds, and saying that they have committed stealing and all that. And finding that indeed there's no evidence at all to support the charges, and the prosecution will not be as smooth as he wanted. Decided to withdraw and then resort to extrajudicial harassment. It cannot be possible. Why? I mean, I think that some time ago when I made it, I think I made that comment on your station that there has to be, I think, good men in the country will have to wake up. And I was met with a lot of, I had serious backlash. Oh, I'm talking about good men and that kind of thing. But that's what we're witnessing. If indeed we have good men who are actually in charge of the positions of law enforcement, we'll not be doing that. I recognize the right of all persons to bail. In fact, I was not even bothered most of the time. In this case, you find Attorney General himself, Deputy Attorney General himself, violating people's rights. Before you file your charges, have a draft charge sheet in my hand. And then you say, pronounce people guilty.
Now, semi bonchain and Justice Srem-Sai say, oh, Godfred Yeboah Dame. Also, they can add for Pani was semi bay and your court to sue was no mood didn't come and when yaji. After the day and a buy, our non TV station, any radio station say, as some more moody no. Omode politics any name one TRC.
The former Attorney General, well, he's now a practicing private practitioner, so he's earning his fees. And I will not be the one to take money out of the pocket of the lawyer. But I think he shouldn't be too dramatic about this. I spoke with him in the court on Hanan in particular, and he made some requests, some of which have been granted, others may be granted in the future, and others have been refused. When Hanan was sent to Yeboah, he was supposed to just be interrogated immediately, then he will be discharged. But he fell sick and was taken to the hospital. And when he came back, instead of his lawyers, the former Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, to come so that interrogation will be done, he chose to rather be granting interview in his office and in the media and calling into radio programs to say things that he knows are wrong and are not true. I mean, he said their time they used to assign cases to you cannot just come to court when you have fresh evidence in a criminal trial and start throwing in the evidence.
That's what I'm asking about the status.
So you need to first interrogate and hear from the accused person in respect of those new fresh evidence that you gathered. That will inform your final decision whether to go ahead and charge the person or not. But to say that fresh evidence is not available merely because you don't have it is completely improper and unethical.
Well, one thing that he also said is that you are abusing the president because during his time, the way and manner accused persons were being treated is not the same way.
Those of you who were in court, when we were withdrawing the charges, he was on our side. He even told the judge that he is familiar, he did a lot of withdrawals. To the extent that even the co-accused counsel was talking to the two of us and said that we were politicians and he is a professional lawyer. So in the courtroom, he understood and did not object to anything that happened. I was surprised for him when I saw him on radio and TV, making it look like he wasn't. In fact, the other counsel was actually pointing to the two of us that, yes, we were politicians and he is not, so he has the right to complain. And he was telling the other lawyer not to complain because this is normal. So to come out and make it, and in any case, haven't we seen, has he not done this before? Is it improper to withdraw charges?
Nanka Srem-Sai kana asem awie wo kọ one was Debbie Godfred Yeboah Dame wo kan asem bi ehwetwe na so wo say ai owura Wahab aya lawyer fo na esenka wo mudi na asem de ma no ono ne Srem-Sai deny say wo ma lawyer fo no enkonku hu no o Debbie wa anya sa o ne mmom no wo kire mu say Wahab sa bre no yare enti na so mo de ne kwa clinic enu ntia o enye bibia.
She says there's no case pending there, there's no fresh evidence. What's your stance?
How would he know? You see, instead of him to accompany his client to do interrogation, through the interrogation, he's sitting on TV, calling to radio programs and talking. But his client will be going for interrogation today. He was discharged yesterday. He'll be going for interrogation today. That is when he will know. If he chooses not to be on radio and follow him, he will definitely know where the fresh evidence. He has no basis to know whether there's fresh evidence or not because he has not accompanied his client to the office of.
But he said his general. He says that he was denied access.
Exactly.
He says they were denied access, but you were saying that they didn't come. So what is that?
That is false. That is false. Completely false. His client was not well and was taking the clinic yesterday. When they came back, the interrogators were waiting for him to come because you cannot interrogate a suspect in the absence of his lawyer. And we know the accused person had lawyers. So it is fair and right and the proper thing to wait for the lawyers to come. He was nowhere to be found.
He said his junior doctors, lawyers, I must say, sat at the Iyoko's headquarters, waiting for them to be, interrogated. But you didn't give them that access.
That is hearsay. He is claiming that. And I am telling you that most of the time yesterday was spent waiting for him and his lawyers to come. He never showed up.
Na se mi say ya manfo abufu. Esan se omosi o. Wo eye Godfred Yeboah Dame. Asem ya wo kai, wo mre bi atwam wo ba be ye bi o. Wo ye bi papa. We eyura eye Zaato e na e kase.
He had not attempted to run. He didn't do anything against his bail conditions, right? The charge, he didn't do anything. So far, we've not been told by the state that you were on these bail conditions. You have breached them. So now we don't trust you. No. There's something different also about how the NDC is pursuing it like this. Look, I was looking at something. Almost all the high-profile cases that Godfred Dame and Gloria Akuffo tried during the APP years, almost all the suspects, let me call them, were given bail on self-cognizance. Almost all of them. Maybe one
almost,
or two.
Yeah.
Almost.
But not all of it.
Yes, almost all of them were given bail on self-cognizance. That means that the state believe that you can or you should be able to what? You have enough, credibility to be able to show up. That has not happened under the NPP currently. Under this Attorney General, none of the visible or high-profile people have been given any bail on self-cognizance. That's one thing. Two.
Not the Attorney General that grants bail.
No, I know. But the Attorney General goes to court and says, in some of the cases they request that.
It's really at the discretion of the court.
Yeah, but if the Attorney General goes and says, I want you to be self-organized, the court will not disagree, right?
It's not entirely up to him.
No, but they've never argued that. Have they argued? Have they gone and say, we have Hanan here, we want him to go on self-organized, and the Attorney General say, and the law says no? No. So he says that, he says what he wants and he gets it. That's the point I'm making.
To can you query?
Yeah, you probably manaka unfair justice. Dear Godfred Dame.
Or some of the politics are room.
Why am I the politics? And yet Godfred Dame na obezo chia to force and all force Amagana economy the day. Obezo chin tum by force coca japa say. O media dance kurum. And to at force so. Not judge no emua at force for no. You know. Tape audio in by you. You go audio in our court. Ebo me TV. How on earth will such a human being have the nerves to talk about political motivation stories?
But was it lawyers no? Hamin lawyers.
Oh no, lawyer. He is a lawyer.
I would deny access or more who know.
What is Justice Srem-Sai? What say okay?
I say some way yare.
Also, Babani Yari, I'm going to go to hospital. And interrogation to me because a brand and lawyer anymore. Because it's not done. And the Oja radio TV is tonight. No, oye na dwuma as a client no epa ngobe wo.
No, say Ghana phone sorry. Omo tumi sorry. Politicians sorry, escafo sorry. Because they say no, ye law court na Daniel Manusem. Me blame this for. Someone like Godfred Dame go buy na nkaso omo generalize. Come at letum. How?
Ya tips. Omo na boy ekro no. Na Ghana, ye kro no ye boy na nya ono na ya tonje no bedima achini batum. What is a chrono a course, docket ya demano, and would dear hin or dika say, MPP near Yeska, and yet court, Trembaco. This is the same man and now person changing a time. Dr. Johnson, a Siama, Bank of Ghana governing name, and goes to too. All the people now targeting and then Ghana. Ghana no any party MPP said no. And then the people that compass or dubious way, a jelly. All because of so please Akuffo.
Dr. Zaato say one Gloria Akuffo musana no moye.
I say omo charitable with even Godfred Dame.
I say no moye ntine na so obi ye bianka. Who are you?
If he sit on radio saying say the NDC for no year no. Entwe year it means omo ye bi. Ana na osuo so omo di we no.
Na fanyoma kan kran so aba be kasa o. Afanyoma ke say de moye ne die Emre na adani o. Emre adani na ma NDC for anya beti.
What ana make no? NDC for no mo.
Mo dey air politics do mo ba ye na say.
Why na say me NDC ni?
Omo dey air politics.
Me NDC ni.
Enya wo American na.
Normal Ghanaian bia ni dey course o. Ana won the second of right omra Ghana so ma. Won tie.
And they say they will be any say.
E ba chawo. O ma me say what say onyem. Wafofo na frɛ. Akuya brefi.
Ana se me ma.
Na o ma.
Na so wonso no wanga.
Meaning say. Nyense na mpa ya botum.
Anti abotum na.
Enti se keno for that ya o yes e die. Ah o bra me mai. E ka tire me no mi ni say wayo. 7 years na odi as a finance minister no. Na Godfred Dame ti ho. What do you mean? What do you mean what? David.
Ten assembly.
It is if a new government back, now you chases any pana, then you call it a political witch hunter. I'm going to Ghanaian politicians, no, I'm going to Ghana Yomudi. I am maybe and ye the mouth. Says serve woman. Now, say, who take his arm and the boy coronuvi. Now, say, a banner man 8 with here. Now, say, a political witch hunt. In the Nippon, we are board, you will be for my children. I am only 10 years. No, only a political witch hunt.
And they buy a dinner some quick.
Mo, but I can't fui, I can say fui. Among one into do some quick. Now, I know Grana Ghana for Buffalo, and Ghana 40 ora. Eh, Munyamasim. But as I say, not Ghana 40 ora. No motivation. Messi is only in Ghana here. And in the last 60 years, political parties have won election by using our fight against corruption.
Godfred Yeboah Dame only how on say. Yes, I no mood in the Hanu.
Yeah,
was it Mama just
arrested? What he's saying is the Attorney General Department felt say omuni any evidence biya. I'll make me a jelly a friend say Hanan. And on withdraw. On withdraw no. And on must go arrested. And no judicial harassment.
Ten no ka say ndam.
Me pacho first time when we say Yoko Forche a friend say chama untwi.
Ye jai na.
Ye jai na police here for so first time uni. And oga say we a lawyer so umoye pa na uni weduma. Unim says how do we allowed. Manya fresh evidence. Who change the order no. Me mfa we no nko. Abra fresh one aba no. Aya so dangerous. I change me dey ba no. It is that ya judge my withdraw case ni na. Odo we na no. Was I afale police for month no. Anya chi no. It is that new evidence we be tended in. We are the lawyer. You interrogate no. Go there. Who go tell you how? Lawyer and appear could be the chamontu asem. How many times work can read this or come asem? The very moment you see a lawyer using the media or trying to buy people's or you should open public court so make
what you asem.
What you say? I court na so call but say open the public court say you can be more there. Let me say I said I said no ebuebo. Inti no ebuebo no dey. I say okasa na public gas ampo. That number ja na must arrest no. The Attorney General now Attorney General is popular. And don't forget, lawyers are very smart. There's a reason why I'm granting interview to get the public attention.
Yeah, because inside the camera.
Now the public attention sometimes decide the judge now. Because when the judge knows that the popular people, the population, they want majority of them thinks no, this is unfair. We would omiti. Justice with mercy. And they need that. And I don't know Godfred Dame in here. But Godfred Dame, me buzano. I mean, the entire na MPP mo mudi born no na have as a lawyer.
Mudi born.
Chama untwi dey over ho. Hanan Akuffo no. Adena get to that house get talk oh you say no say I see a born get away. Na Godfred Dame na lawyer.
Oh yeah dear.
Why? I want to prosecute Obiano.
I said, no, was a Ghana phone, sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, Attorney General. Niba Ben or Chile 2 man, Pani with money. Or more, and so or chum. Let me say, the last time I'm Ghana for so much, I had to force in time now. But Ghana Bar Association, meaning say a chop bow, say beer bow.
Or castle,
or castle, no, or didn't go court, some ambulance issue.
Yes.
Go record it, Jack could you at the Zukumuno?
Send that to force and Ghana phone, sorry.
Debbie. The fact that Ghana Bar Association granted the license, not as a practicing lawyer, Emma. Because in any sensible country, human beings use their brains. And he won't be a lawyer anymore. He shouldn't be a lawyer anymore. But that's a lawyer. And no more can't tell Ghana for years, sorry. Who now, as a lawyer, Yacho, evidence in here, say, what was a witness? So on counter. Mose moko do kota ufa Bible na kura meboa. No I swear.
Yeah, so we
me I swear.
Say na make no kure nko.
Sina roll se ka sen ka ye de snap ani gosia na de abo se pa ani ehwi aka cha ku a ka bebrebe jan kwasantro no hwa. Obi a wa ma na swear the Bible wo Godfred Dame Christian. Into the Ubu Bible no, and I just a Christian. And I was really walk Aguchiano. Afrina catches that. On the sun that none is you know. Na en favor there because na do more pressure. Say so at 42.
Oh no, you say yeah. Judicial system no senke mo aka say ye independent. Kasa na ma we nyina nkema.
Our judicial system are not independent. Are they not independent? Aya kro no na ya judges ni bi. Are they not independent? But your magistrate court, Oko magistrate court one man, judges for one. What is it? President be appoint him. He found no moji am punching a friend say Nyomwa. Say ebia because the Supreme Court and government getting involved and High Court here or appoint you me. Government be anywhere found no punching Ngoko. Oh, magistrate court exactly no mudi no. Government be am found any political case. Political big case be the baba e one. But yet correct one was the case o. Na me no nya asem. Na me twika na on from. Yenko da magistrate court. Me di for kra na me di be. Our judges not to say yan.
And I say their pay no is not enough for them into no yes and also say because you're not getting it.
Hey, Ghana, a teacher for near for how?
Eh, teacher for near
it's a for how? Hey, I'm on from here stores or more how?
Because how come?
People are surviving on 500 Ghana. Don't tell judges for one minute less than 8,000 or 10,000. Wow, Bridget. I don't know so I never saw. I go na de bro na untiminto. Body na odi ye no, ana untiminto.
Epokron so to.
Ma ko wie body na sa body kro na nti obi ebro body na wo de be jelere.
Epon so to gum to mo je body a.
Oh, na say omoduma yi yenim. Omotimi ko break. Several months no more resume me wa. Omo judge di case a tam open opon.
Oh yes, tam open with you.
Mo. Enti
enti
aya omo for music na. Oya judge di onko jilo no be business nkan. The mindset of the people corrupt. Look at the title that you from. Her Lordship. My Lord.
Her Lord.
Lord no. Just say. Just say nipa eba wo no kreka. Edam trudo. Ohun ye kronkron. Enti nim ses ye ni nipa abonefo mienu bedu anum a. Obehwe ye nim aka no kre na kire. But do we see that in our court? No. The only say, we a political figure. The only case in your country send you better. Oh, we currently we do, but cut back, baba. Okay. Now, moment, a nipa obian fan who society more, and then panel judge take action. Nankaga down 15. I mean, to some bawano.
I say, me, who say, Pibu Abekem, Martin Pibu.
Oh, Eddie Abekem. Hey, one year asked me, baby, the Abekem. The Godfred Dame and
who says, the
last person on earth. So this is the same Godfred Dame. Brother, get to the Rabasiki Tokono. You say, Parliament pass a bill. Yeah, I got to say, Yempe gay, Yempe lesbobo, yet ye manfo any mabeda, yen member better, and only a pet. I don't know what trying. Omo mege so me yan sededi enkontiam rawa ya go to president my president imam fama na ya wiese Richard the last guy say what they call a president court na the chena it make asem no me wa na 11 die ya go court e da so da ho I know the one every case no sa woman na what this dream no ono na Godfred Dame na ko defend no
get treat
na Godfred Dame na ko defend no. And Hanan.
Also no.
That man ko ana he. Oni
as a lawyer.
Oni me yesi me wo makuma mu say.
Hanan
de no. School nkwala aduane. Aye fa nkomo mo. Emu asai. Na FD for sa nipa na we na gampa na gezi atumi na. Na ya backdate. Me wa mo na de by na say. Ade na say o backdate e den. Because say onu be so wia. I go to top story buildings, man. The innocent children, almost community say the future belongs to them. No, should eat and die. What is that football team good about?
Oh yes, any day.
And do you know the number of people who have died if there's a mono and can in brown roswa. I don't do ya. Do you know that I'm to the come be affected? Sandy Power defendant. Sandy Power defendant.
Obi okum nipa kra no so nya lawyer mani defendant.
Dem feel and the appear could be.
Obi okum nipa
kra nya. Obusa no gas wedi for. No say 4 pound wedi. Ko. This all got wedi be must wedi case. But we need want to catch na oye.
I hold there. Obi no say birthday party to me ye the campaign you know.
Let us go.
We na me carry.
Now that no can say Godfred Dame in no country. Law e working. And by now, I think on that's akunyem. Na all kasa born ebo as a lawyer.
I think yakodi Hanan asemi Wahab asemi nenka. Ye nyan na mana nkwa ga se we ni evidence bia dey against na asem no be kan na. Srem-Sai so anka se o misumi wo evidence nti ye dey ache na. Kasa ne we nyina ama ana. Na
on yemben the entire law. Na yemfa enkushi no no egugo. Ana yemben the entire law. On dey so nimie. Dentia no force jakwa ma na di ntoro atwa atu force so ni de enye bisa ama no na ye je ana na wakoji ni sika oye lawyer o meyeduma oye lawyer on tries on so informations on tries to investigate on the cases no nya kwadwuduma no you can't be that lazy as a lawyer
I na say chi obi a o se me yare
police ni kwa o me who say ya chi out ba kwa ya chi na itime bonna mamuja ne nine Omo, you don't go to mountains of Yare. But Chama won't to me. No, I asked Yare. Hanani, will be wearing Nanny back when I'm telling us what I was. Tell Ucho Mano got hospital.
I am one.
Would him say a trick? Or
Quadawa, so Dr. Zubeka said, I or Yare. I know reports
or better. Not one to say any new much a twist. A better baby, not. Media for even including MPP needs for say oh ya arrange pay mama man pad am say na mo bo adam na mo te marry mwana enti omo de omo yare enti mi mo pad eni say won for na mo yare mo na mo bia emrefie no me na emrefie because it doesn't make sense ya chimes as Akuffo with a crime and maybe dem go we a crime 5,000 cedis Hanan de na born in the region of 200 something million.
Because and say dine you read na
millions of dollars. No on no yare. Ye na go to hospital. We say in every hospital na no be fee. There's only on them. Meanwhile, omon go research omo a. Say you go force us no. Eh okay o. And I say enya tantan say e sell CBO.
Any political strategy before you say.
Any. Sa. Ye che jajuju get o yare. Omo e che obi yare.
Chairman, there's one name Kakana.
No,
why? I said the Abon Botro friend, Chairman.
Won't me? So, come on, no.
The one day, 100 years and now, Togus in the air any day, no, be.
They're nice all call size. On the time, who got so called hunger strike. Or go hunger strike, the only different. But Ghana can't be fake.
I run your crown back as a one with you one day. Yeah.
I run on no go to tell no yare. I was going to one check.
I want to cast one day, say, young, you used to be kind.
Also, anybody.
I can't say you do want to go see.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make us a go say the two musumu.
You go on now, must say, Shatta will go by us. Oh, I want to the camera. Now, Shatta, no, I was so chair. Huh?
Of course, you'll be soon. Say when what day, yeah.
Shut up by yourself.
Yeah, when your baby crown or can see ya.
Even ordinary people, no, ordinary Ghanaians, no. Yeah, the employer down. Put me 10. Then you are.
There are some crown to be came. A wound to me up around. I want to see a chair on the same time.
In the Argentina, only the MP before your chair. Among the call on ye.
I say we are new treatments at the moment.
Name a treatment.
Take camera uncle.
Someone like I want to be found some come. There's no way to for some come. You know, say we part to be super that. And so we are made national chairman in Boa. You still have influence in the MPP. It's your microphone. The worst you can do is watching. Asa, sa na niya wa force wayari. But bomb yan kayo. And 2028 election, even though I know MPP will lose. But if miraculously MPP win here, now say what do you say Ghana? Baby will be on my face out. Ghana and open party are a very vindictive for MPP. In fact, both MPP and DC, they are much more than pa. NDC for MPP for much more than pa. Me who any top person be in this action. Unless I be an assessor, I want to be a successful. No, zero.
Oh, is a police in nature. To me, there's a police in nature.
And I make, and I said, Ghana, and I say, almost like a crack. Let me put your grand president in Ghana.
Police in nature.
And I make I
want your monk
for that reason. That's how I catch them say political motivated. The number of people MPP have jailed in the NDC, all that time was it politically motivated? Or only at two force at two ace in A2 was it politically motivated? Because at two ace in the interest the banks can do it.
President Cracker says you must have filed for promo bail cases bail 12.
Any enough in a political witch hunting. Almost as a prepare to almost so. If I may say the only thing say Mahamasi by 2028. No I am a Ghana for. Born about so mudrope on full stop is you. Saura and a galamsi.
Yeah, no crowd no can was say Ghana for pressure and so
we need it. We yeah persi a chibe.
And was say anyone why am rana Ghana ye using no. And I can we nye soja mra te say
so akasa chief justice on better judges, not the corrupt ones, better ones. Case no more timeline. Hey, chama to be Kofali for defense. What's it, baby? Mini defense. Only defense. And a friend say a deputy attorney general. Justice Srem-Sai say, "Sadi a court. Me them presenting me case into only defense dia. Atemuonum ebra. Ne buan for. Aplo lawyer ni apia ko bi mini ya ti kopam. Wapai. And they had no kasa. Or kasa mana to judge the three judge na kubu acha mu for. I'm say aden yes file defense for witness bra.
Kasa we did that at your client.
For witness with defense bra no be defend no client no. Mo say dey bi. Ana mo dey go appeal court. Mo dey go do appeal court. Appeal court abo to egu. High court say any say dey me ma say mo da. Mo for defense bra. And so mo yam kana na. It all because you be slow down the legal process. Now the MPP is not coming back 2028.
Chairman, they check. See this year
this year. Yeah. Say man jelly best 5-6 no pompo kinofrata must be among.
Any to know about Bekase.
Mustafa Hamid must be 2.
And yes soja buying.
And yanka soja buying. Yanka say soja buying.
Also when yanka be content him.
And you onga santre anya. Or promote 7 Supreme Court judges. Chief Justice new one, you know. Or promote 30 High Court judges. Or promote 31 Appeal Court judges. And one years I recruitment what. A judge for no. Yangas Mungodi and share case no. But pa evidence Attorney General making kind always be working kind today, you know. There is nowhere so they will go free from all those charges that. Edia bakum yinu mensa na gbobo. Attorney General omonjino mo na so no munkodi asem no eni ni yen fama ye. All what Ghanaians want to see. And he said those criminals that deprived our growth, our mukati your progress, just to be able to enjoy their rich life, they must suffer. We must retrieve those monies. Yeah, ma Abraham na so na mo popo all of a sudden, and they were creating generational wealth at one money on the museum. Abdul-Wahab. What net generational wealth? Generational wealth. No, just one museum. We are no for people crab. No, be over. Meanwhile, me no be na so tiawo.
I say bit me free. So on your freezing accounts.
Right. Yeah, freezing.
Yeah, freezing.
Hey, but come on, do you freezing more money? So that's give every kakano. Me say that you freezing be because in this. Cause I'm going to miss mobile money come freezing. Now me have freeze for so kwat be kan.
So me freeze o mu hu. Ye be freeze o mu hu nti na yi kaka o jibitum.
Eh, o pa. Ya freeze am for account no somebody to the birthday. Na ya freeze account birthday do yen kai.
Nye birthday keke o. Ambulances nso a wato dia ma hospitals wo ne former nso ka ho
se omoboy okro no wia no masa be che ade na ayese de omodwen ho eh politicians you style you nyare
de abona baso
oyede Hanan so nkoto bibi ngoche seze no wa some court na oto bibi che ha betima bo ama ya ehun public
for the sake of the campaign into no to
enye ne case ni dia
yes
and Hanan mananto Godfred nkanche case ni obedi oye lawyer onkonko ye dima na onya de oye na wo ye probia ma na sori wo Ghana ha ka Godfred nebeka I said, "I'm out with you." Was it Ghana for one sorry? Meanwhile, time I only gold bar, never tonight year where you solid money. Or go tell my commander. Or go tell my Ghana for.
Who be dancing?
Now, I then on I've sent by area. Yeah, sorry. Who want to go? No, who do go? The best you do assume. Now, who say before? No, in the mini.
Then I be before Cassie, the Intia Chema want to be kind. Nothing on Matias, yes, say. A young man, your someone more dear semono. Mudi rew politics no mudi rew
amanya sembe no mudi ase
eni ti na chairman ka say ne Ghana for mo sore
amanya sembe
say die
ne pe wachi wa so udane ne ase Ghana for so yes go e bi ni say Godfred e bi so ka pass ma kire
so say amanya
it's nonsense
ya chi o ma mo de amanya sem ni do asem
Ghana e country nka ba na nka danse wo mu ka on hye we nko hye yelo
some de ho hye na ho
na uni pa wo ko fake friends evidence that my witness on go ka out court.
Yeah, sure.
Which same country? And what did the court name the atem? Because court only evidence on the evidence. No judge case.
No granting.
And think you're taking away someone who have saved the entire finances or non former finance minister. Our Ghana on Timano. Or they gonna could do. Nipa way or any keep atu. Doctor atu force. Atu is force.
And this is for one what they want to never buy with Nasum.
Tell somebody the tradition ko.
Say baby.
Bra enya papa do dey baba Ghana. Enya baba Ghana.
Abdul-Wahab na asem die no negu so ekoso na so lawyer ye Justice Srem-Sai. I was say e say die manfo eye no wanti ase. Godfred Dame eye no wanti ase. Umra bonti na do mbechichiri mu wai. Isa so wono onfa manwesem e na edi asem no. Whatever comment no favorite comment section o kai so be subscribe to your channel no dia mai o be share amanwa bi so sa etimi akibidin ene mo amekwa mene.
Max Billion.
Ya crown.